So we just arrived to a playgroup, a Down syndrome playgroup that we're going to today, where it's a bunch of small children with Down syndrome. We get together, we try to get together once a month to play together. And so we're going to be spending most of our morning doing that. So we're looking forward to it. We just got back from our Down syndrome playgroup, which was fun as always. I think we're all exhausted when we get back. The kids fell asleep in the car, and Richard's upstairs taking a nap, and I'm still awake. And yeah, it was good fun. Emily got to play with her friends, and we have lunch there. One thing that we have realized through some hard times we've gone through in our lives is you need to find your village. And when we found out the diagnosis of Emmeline, we were in a dark place at that time. We were overwhelmed with all the information that was given to us, all the all the information from the doctor, and all the medical scares and everything, and all the textbooks information. And I knew one of the things that we had to do was we had to go out into the community and find people who were living with children with Down syndrome, and to meet people with Down syndrome and just kind of get a better idea from that perspective. So that's one of the first things we ended up doing. And it completely changed our whole concept of everything. It really opened up our eyes to what people with Down syndrome can do and how much alike they are to us. We didn't know much about Down syndrome when we found out Emmeline was going to be born with it. But, you know, now we consider ourselves almost experts. But it's just one of the things that was really important was to, even to this today, is to be in touch with people and parents who also have children with Down syndrome. There's lots of things we can relate to, and we understand each other a little bit more in areas that other people that we know who don't have a kid with special needs. So I think for anything that you go through in your life, you need to find your village. You need to find your people that you can relate to. So now, every time we get together with our friends who also have children with Down syndrome, it is something we really look forward to, because it's nice to have some similarities. Not all. Our children are all very different from each other, but there are a lot of things that we can also relate to. So yeah, so when we were there, they had pizza for lunch, which is quite common there. So I had planned that I was just going to have 2 slices, and I wasn't going to have anything else, which I did, which I was quite proud of myself for not going overboard. But I still feel guilty after having that. And then on the way home, since we were so tired, we wanted to get coffee, and I really wanted an iced coffee. So I probably could have asked for coffee with just sweetener, but I just got an iced coffee, which I'm pretty sure has like sugar in it. So I get the iced coffee, and it is so sweet that it's like almost undrinkable. So I think they put like way too much sugar in it. But I'm so tired that I continue to drink it, and I just kind of get used to it. And so now I just kind of feel like my day has kind of been off now with having things that aren't really going to help me. We also slow cooked the pork shoulder yesterday, which we're going to plan to have probably for dinner tonight. But it also like that the barbecue sauce Richard ended up buying was a lot higher calories than we normally get, and then also when it was done, it just seemed really like, kind of like greasy and fatty. So I'm kind of like put off by that. But at the same time, we don't have much, excuse me, food choices. So, you know, we spent a lot of money on that cut of meat, which we don't normally buy big cuts of meat like that. So then I'm kind of like, well, I don't want it to go to waste. So I don't know. Technically, I don't have to eat it, and I could just eat something else. But, you know, it is the idea of wasting food. That it's all these things that I'm like thinking of in my head. So ideally, I want to live in a world where I can eat whatever is in front of me. I just have to limit what I eat. You know, put it on a whole wheat bun. Maybe not have too much sides of it. So that's even if I like it. Well, I don't think I'm going to be eating this meat since it has so much fat. I don't know why there is so much fat. So gross.
Potatoes and meat. Celery and potatoes and meat. Yummy, 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 yummy treat.
Oh, God. You don't know what you want to be, happy or sad? Are you happy or are you sad? Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. You can't eat my hand, though. My hand's not for dinner. I almost just shit myself. Because I just bought a wasp in the car. And I just had to, like, move fast and let it out. Open the door and hope that it left. It did. Thank the Lord. I closed the door. I heard buzzing. Hoping it was, praying as a fly. But it was actually a wasp. That would have been a at-risk car accident if it was in the car while I was on the road. So I couldn't bring myself to eat the slow-cooked pork we made because it was so much fat that I just felt like that's not going to do me good after the day I already had of food that is not the greatest for you. So we had a bit of leftover tuna, so I just made a sandwich, and we had the sides. We had roasted potatoes and celery, which I had with that. We did, however, give Emmeline the meat because, well, now we gave it to her because we want her iron to go up, and now I'm wondering if pork has a lot of iron in it. But she actually ate some, and more than I expected, but she didn't eat a lot. And then Richard, of course, ate it, so I think he's just gonna like have it for lunches for a while now. And at least we'll get used. It's not completely wasteful, but yeah, it always kind of sucks when you make dinner and it doesn't turn out to be the greatest, but that's part of cooking.